Hey challengers, how's everybody doing this week? I wanted to come in here and talk to you a little bit about how to use these containers that came with your challenge pack. Some of you may have already dove in and started using them. Some of you may be looking at them like, really? I have to eat what fits in here? These look kind of small. So they can look a bit intimidating, but I'm telling you, once you start using them consistently, it's not that difficult. In fact, it has become kind of a way of life for me, eating what fits into my containers. Not that I always measure every single thing out all the time, but I am at least mindful. Now, before I ever did 21 Day Fix, which is the program where these containers originally came from, before I ever did that, I honestly did not know what in the world it meant as far as portion control. Like, I knew what clean eating was, which if you're not sure what that means, basically, you guys, clean eating is trying to stick to foods that you cook yourself. Staying away from pre-packaged items is the best way to describe it. Fruits, vegetables, your meats, healthier grains, things like that, but not chips, not crackers, not frozen meals, things like that. Frozen vegetables and frozen fruit is totally fine. But anyway, I didn't really know. I knew I needed to eat protein. I knew I needed healthy carbs. I knew I needed fruit and vegetables, but I didn't know how much. So I learned so much from using these containers and the nutrition guide about what I actually needed. And I realized I don't need a carb at every meal, whereas before it was like, I must have a protein and a carb at every single meal, and that's not necessary. So they look small, but once you stuff food in there and you dump all of these out on your plate, you realize, dang, this is a lot of food, and I actually struggle getting in the containers that I need. And that's another question. Some people say, I haven't been able to get in all my containers today. How do I really have to eat this much? Yes, you do. You will get results. I promise you, you're not going to overeat. I'm sorry, my cat is in the way. It's not the kids, it's the cat, right? So you're not going to eat too much. I promise you. You're eating this to fuel your body to get results. So don't worry, okay? But you have to eat the right things. You can't fill this with Ritz crackers, your yellow is your carbs, and expect to see the same results as if you were to stuff this with your healthier carbs like sweet potatoes, okay, and quinoa. So first things first, you all have your fitness programs that have a nutrition guide. Most of the Beachbody workouts now do follow the container system. If you have Beachbody On Demand, which most of you do now, you go to Beachbody On Demand and you click on your workout program. You're going to click program materials and you're going to see in there your nutrition guide. And it's most likely going to talk about using these containers to help you with your portion control. You have to measure for yourself how many containers you're supposed to get each day. There's a little calculator in your book. See if I can find it in here. Okay, right here. So this is the math problem I'm going to do to help me figure out what the amount of calories are that I need. It's going to tell me my target calorie range. And then based on that, see, it's in here somewhere. It's going to tell me how many containers according to my specific, here we go, my specific target calorie needs are. It's going to tell me what I need to eat. So for me, I need to be in the 1,200 to 1,499 range. There is a range, and that's good because you don't want to every single day just eat 1,200 calories or just eat 1,500 calories. There's some science behind it that having a little bit of deviation in there is good to get your body's metabolism working better, okay? So for me, I'm supposed to eat 3 green containers. This is my vegetables. I can eat 2 purples. That's my fruits. And that's one that I always have like half a banana in my shake, but I'll struggle getting in my other serving of fruit a day. 4 proteins. Shakeology counts as a protein. No, you don't measure it in here. 1 serving of Shakeology, though, is 1 red container, same thing. 2 yellows. This is your carbs. And then your orange is like your blue is your healthy fats. The orange is like seeds and stuff like that. So I'll go more into that in a minute. And then you get, I get one fat and one of these, like this is like dressings and seeds, like nuts and stuff. And then I can have 2 teaspoons of like olive oil, coconut oil, peanut butter. Okay. So then you'll look in your nutrition guide at your list of food choices. Okay. Now here's the thing. Low battery. At the top of the list are your better options. Towards the bottom are your less desirable options. Still okay to have, but if you want to get better results, you need to more often eat the things at the top of the list. Okay. For example, the yellow one's a really good one to look at. Okay. You can have tortillas and bagels, pancakes, but they are at the bottom of the list. So that's something I would try to stick to like once, twice a week. The things at the top of the list are sweet potatoes, quinoa, beans, lentils, peas, things like that is at the top of your yellow list. So those are the better options for your carbs, okay? Now, I know sometimes you're like, well, how do I plan this out for the day? I'm a very like keep it simple type of person. I tend to plan my dinner first, okay? So I figure out, okay, at dinner, I know I'm going to have a protein and a carb and a veggie tonight. So then I'm going to make sure that today I only have one other carb and I can have that at breakfast or lunch. So I'm going to think about what I'm eating that day. And I don't want to eat a carb for breakfast and lunch. And then now all of a sudden I can't enjoy my sweet potatoes that I'm making for everybody else at dinner and they get to eat it and I don't. I also... vegetables, what helps me get these in, I need to get some kind of veggie in at breakfast or I really struggle in getting enough of this. I will add spinach to my Shakeology. So then I'm getting, with Shakeology, if I do that, I'm getting a protein, I'm getting a vegetable, and then if I add half a banana, yes, half a banana is 1 purple container. Okay, so you can't cut up the banana and make it fit in there. You got to look at your guide. It's going to explain that better to you, but half a banana is 1 serving size. Okay, there's a lot of sugar in banana. So when I have my Shakeology, it's taking up these. Plus I have usually a teaspoon of peanut butter in there. So that's 1 of my teaspoons. So that helps me, that right there helps you get in several containers for the day. If I make eggs for breakfast, I will put a bunch of vegetables in it. I love to saute my bell peppers and my onions, spinach, add that to your eggs so that you get a protein and a veggie. 2 eggs equals 1 red container. And if you're like, how the heck do I remember all of that? Again, it will say that on your list. Okay, so not everything has to be measured, you guys. You got to look at this, okay? You need to study it a little bit. 2 eggs is 1 red. 8 egg whites is 1 red. Like Greek yogurt, you would put in this. Greek yogurt is a protein. Fill it up. That counts as a red container, okay? So I hope that helps you guys a little bit understand how to use these containers, how to plan out your meals. There are recipes in your program guides that are on demand. If you didn't get the book in the mail, they're on demand. Plus, on demand now, there are tons of fixate recipes is what they call it, and they are all measured out with portion containers. So you can look at the recipe and it'll tell you your serving size for this recipe is going to count as a red and a blue and a yellow tonight. So you already know and you don't have to try to kind of guess at it. And there's tons of recipes on demand, you guys. That's pretty much all I cook in this household. Last night I made the feta artichoke chicken and my husband was like, this is so good. Where did you get this recipe? And I'm like, Beachbody on Demand. I mean, it tasted like restaurant quality and it was amazing. Everybody loved it. Also, I give you guys meal plans, and we have several meal plans that are specific to 21 Day Fix. You can also look on Pinterest for 21 Day Fix recipes. Be careful, some of them are cleaner than others, of course. You're going to be pretty safe if you go with the things on demand, but again, be mindful of the fact that if there's tortillas in the recipe, totally fine, just don't do it every day, for example, okay? I hope that helps you guys be able to start being better about your nutrition We are moving right along in this group, and I want you guys to get the most out of it that you possibly can. Nutrition is 80%, maybe even 90% of the battle when it comes to results. I wish that we could just work out and eat whatever we want and see amazing results. Maybe you can if you are like in your 20s, but not me anymore. I have got to dial in on my nutrition if I want to see results these days. So I think that many of you are probably with me on that. But if you have any questions, please comment under the video and I will be happy to answer them for you. I will repost the 21-Day Fix recipes for you if you haven't found that yet, and go explore on Beachbody On Demand and look for all those recipes that you guys can start using. Bye!